Daddy disowned him. Daddy didn't want nothing to do with him. So you had one. You had one, right? Then you became a statistic.
Hey, man, shut up. The intro going, man.
Hey, how you doing? I hope it's good. So today we got some degeneracy with A to Z. Disrespectful IRL streamer now facing 36 years in prison. So I looked back in his videos and he already did a video with this, so I'm assuming this is an update. So update. We having a wonderful day. Let's get to this.
This IRL streamer is now facing...
Excuse me. Wait a minute. Here we go.
36 years in Korean prison after spending the last 2 years of his life harassing and humiliating random people on the streets of Japan, Israel, and South Korea for his own content. Spending 3 months in jail in Japan, apologizing and saying, hey, he's never going to do this again, and then goes on to continue like nothing ever happened at all. And we've been covering his antics for a while, and it's already been a couple months since I went out to Korea for his first trial. And it's safe to say things have only got worse for him. All while he spent so much of his time taunting and essentially challenging the Korean court system to do something about it. Because Johnny streamed himself being interviewed after his stunt where he got drunk and danced in his underwear in the early morning of Seoul.
I did it as kind of like a you to these YouTubers and the ones that are commenting on my downfall in Korea and how I'm gonna get the years keep going up.
But how in any way, shape, or form is that saying F you to them? I don't do that to them. I don't do that to them. That just gives them content. I think he needs to like improve his life. Because if that's what he going on, he might get like 60 years. I think they should give him 60 years regardless, personally, if you ask me, because we don't need this out no more. We don't need this out no more. And what if he accidentally reproduce? What if that happens? That'd be awful. So let's 60 piece, fat, 60 piece in the rice fields.
First they said, oh, it's 5 years. Now it's 10 years. Now he's gonna get 20 years. Now he's gonna get 30 years.
36.
So I was like, I'm gonna show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm gonna show you that the Korean government is not gonna do anything to me because I'm an American citizen, A. And B, I don't do anything seriously violent or crime. The Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be.
I don't know if that's like a smart thing to say while you're on trial. Obviously, we've taken a little break from covering Johnny, but now so much has happened that I feel like we kind of need to update the situation. Because now you have charges that are essentially just dropping monthly to his only friend now threatening another channel that's also been covering Johnny's phone. I mean, this whole story just keeps on derailing like an extremely slow train, which started as him trying to go viral, which turned into real crimes. He's harassed people on buses, blasted offensive messages, disrespectful cultural symbols, and, you know, just kept pushing things further and further. Dumb stuff. No matter how many times he got in trouble, he threatened judges, he made deepfake videos of other Korean streamers, then announced that he was going to go to court in a black version of a certain robe that involves a clan. And I'm not talking about Call of Duty trick shot clans either.
I can't see nothing. Well, don't ask me and mine for nothing ever again. If you know where that's from, we're friends. We're friends. Me, you, us, we, together, friends.
I feel like so much of the stuff he does leaves me with the reaction of, why are you wasting your life doing this? What a fascinating use of free will. But obviously, he didn't follow through with this. All that did was just show the internet that Johnny is a little bit more scared of these consequences than what he's letting on. Even though he doesn't follow through with being a moron, that doesn't mean he's not a moron. Because now it seems like he's looking at...
He re for sure. Riddle me this. How do you manage to not be a statistic, but somehow Daddy disowned him? Daddy didn't want nothing to do with him. So you had one. You had one, right? Then you became a statistic. And now you're gonna go to jail, which makes you 2 times a statistic.
10 additional years of additional max sentence time on top of the previous 26 years of max sentence time that he was facing earlier. At the end of the day, Johnny's story is a perfect example of someone who let chasing clout completely ruin their lives and dragged others like Hank down with him. And Hank, clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed, is now threatening another creator by the name of 15 Minutes of Shame, who's been very on top of covering this whole story. Here's a clip of Legal Mindset showing those messages.
But you see this individual, Adrius, is talking to Hank, sends over a video of 15 Minutes of Shame and says, why is this guy keep pulling this up in his video? So he's talking about, a video where Hank is mentioned. Hank the Tank says, 15 Minutes of Shame is absolutely obsessed with me. And the guy responds, yeah, saw that. He says, LMAO, needs to be, and I'm just going to use the word deleted because I want to keep it YouTube friendly.
So for those of you guys who don't know, that comment is coming from Johnny Somaly's so-called bodyguard or legal advisor or translator. He's playing a lot of roles here, but this is Hank. And what Hank said there isn't just disturbing, it's completely self-destructive. While South Korean law probably isn't going to prosecute Hank for the international threat against someone who's most likely based in the US, the fallout could be harsh in other ways. Hank has already lost his gym membership after the gym found out about his association with Johnny. And that's crazy because Hank needs to stay in there. But honestly, I don't even know if it's a real punishment Hank's head. But clearly, any online behavior like this could easily lead to further consequences. His desperation is clearly showing. As with every threat, he digs his hole deeper. And I feel like part of him actually knows this because he recently also deleted all of his social media, which includes all content on his YouTube channel. And this channel used to be Johnny's only main outlet left to live stream on.
It's my brain. I get distracted.
And for those of you guys who don't know, for months, Hank was Johnny's enabler, providing him with housing, a phone, streaming equipment, booze, and money to keep this nuisance train rolling. Because while Johnny's funds dried up, Hank kept the operation alive, becoming his sole support system. But now, the weight of that decision is really crashing down on him. This isn't just about embarrassment or damage anymore. Hank's closeness to Johnny's latest legal trouble has placed him in the crossfire. If you remember from my last video, I said charges are essentially dropping monthly on Johnny, and that's still true. Because there's now a new crime that Johnny's being investigated for in South Korea, and that is the child harassment under the Korean Child Welfare Act. Specifically, authorities reopened investigations into interactions where Johnny and Hank allegedly engaged in inappropriate conversations with minors on sites like Ome TV. There's reported evidence that both Johnny and Hank knowingly spoke with individuals they identified as minors during these streams, and the conversations were reportedly of an inappropriate nature. This is serious because under South Korean law, this charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison.
Here is the submission right here against Ramzi Khalid Ismail. You see his name here, Ramaji Khalid Ismail, right, in Korean. You can see over here, once again, another one of the cover sheets showing his date of birth, as well as the location in Seoul. And you see both of these documents here together, confirming they were submitted.
Now, before we go any further, let's clear up something that always pops up in the comments. People say, isn't Johnny already in jail? What's the big deal here? Jail is short-term. It's where you go before trial or if you've done something small. Think a few weeks, maybe up to a couple of years. That's about it. And that is if it even goes over a year, because normally if it does, it would be because, the time waiting for the trial and then, after the sentencing. But prison is where you end up after conviction. That's long term. That's the real deal. In South Korea, they don't like to hold people in jail pre-trial unless you're dangerous or violent. And he's not a violent offender. He's just an obnoxious clown with a camera and a bad attitude. So essentially, they just let him roam, rack up more charges, and give the South Korean government all the more evidence they could ever need. Because meanwhile, he's burning through his money, isolating himself, and making their job extremely easy. Just because Johnny hasn't been sitting in a cell this whole time doesn't mean the police are clueless over there. It is definitely not because the courts are soft, it's because South Korea's legal system is playing the long game. Locking him up pre-trial, that costs taxpayer money. They'd rather let Johnny just pay for his own ramen, his own water, his own booze, and his own miserable existence. Or well, honestly, at this point, it's probably Hank that's paying for all that. And this is all while they build a rock-solid case against him. So they're letting him self-destruct on his own dime. And honestly, it's working like a charm.
I have sacrificed my finances.
Bro, imagine when Hank get old and you still gotta grow up with this, or be around with this over your head. Cause ain't nobody gonna forget this. Can't nobody forget this. The internet is forever. Right. So imagine he old, try to open up a ramen shop. Don't nobody come. Nobody. Except for Johnny. Johnny pop up every now and again because he gotta do community service around the area. It's part of his prison stint.
I've actually, Johnny ran out of money.
Hank is done. He's broke. The money's dried up. He's been begging for cash online.
Didn't he say his family cut him off too?
Kicked out of his gym, cut off by businesses, and rejected by companies who don't want to be anywhere near this disaster. And now he's scared. Scared that fallout is going to hit him. Scared that supporting Johnny has destroyed whatever reputation and stability he has.
And he looks like a turtle.
All while prosecutors keep stacking charges. And Johnny, instead of, laying low, he's doubling down. He's made more deepfakes. He's threatened judges. He showed up late late and drunk to court. I don't know how stupid you could possibly be, but this guy just keeps impressing me.
Like, does he think at some point it'll
to write a
grow
fictional character that self-destructed more than Johnny, that would actually be a challenge. And also, just to add on the self-destructive behavior, it's been confirmed that Johnny has been using fake accounts and posing as multiple people on different platforms, like Discord, to discredit creators who are covering him, yours truly included.
Johnny has fake accounts, has multiple people. Obviously, there's fake profiles of me, there's fake profiles of Atozy, other people. Now, some of you have seen this, and some of you have not seen this. But remember, what's important is that we have confirmed that every single thing has been received by the Seoul prosecutor's office.
And I guess these accounts are basically just trying to derail ongoing investigations by clouding the digital trail. But clearly, it's not working. Legal Mindset confirmed that every single piece of footage has now been officially submitted and accepted by Seoul's prosecutor's office as evidence, including older clips
Love that.
from the US.
They need to get with Japan, get theirs, and then get going over to Israel, get theirs. And he was in Israel? I think he was in Israel. Go over there, get theirs too. Hey, send an email. Right? And then get those and charge them for everything all over again. Why? Because you are a nuisance to Earth. That's why.
And at this point, prosecutors in South Korea are moving forward. The case is at a step 2 in their process. The investigation is underway, evidence has been collected, and they're now determining if it's strong enough to hold up in court. That doesn't just include Johnny's offenses in South Korea, it also includes his documented behavior across the US and Europe. Meanwhile, more disturbing footage has resurfaced, including remarks made by both Johnny and Hank towards people in France, Mexico, and Korea. And in another major legal escalation, a victim has now filed a formal petition for severe punishment against Johnny, which could lead to an aggravated sentencing range if the court accepts it. Because according to Korean law, these petitions have to show a clear harm to the victim, attempts at reconciliation that didn't work, and a lack of remorse. Well, that's not hard to prove.
And even to this day, he is still insulting South Korean people. No statue is safe. So he clearly doesn't care and has no remorse.
Yeah, it's safe to say Johnny's own behavior continues to work against him. He, again, is his own star witness against himself. He is his own worst enemy. And if this petition goes through, Johnny could be looking at a minimum of 2 years for obstruction and up to 7 years for the deepfake charges. And of course, it doesn't stop there. There's been 4 previously unseen videos dropping showing him harassing workers and tourists at Seoul's North Tower. And these were filmed before he went viral for getting punched. And they show him blasting music, shouting about having HIV, and filming without permission. Then finally accusing tourists of racism when asked to leave.
Why is he like?
I want to take a cable car down.
Who made him, bro?
What is what? It's a phone.
출신이고 HIV에 감염되었습니다.
Why not?
그리고 저는 한국 여성들을 사랑합니다.
I see many people do YouTube here.
출신이고
I can't do YouTube here.
No, the lady done said
People do
it.
YouTube here.
저는 한국 여성들을
It's in my face. Relax.
저는 소말리아
Relax, bitch.
출신이고
Honestly, it's just crazy how he allows someone to donate $2 to have a chance of ruining his life. It's actually impressive how self-destructive he is, but he deserves everything coming his way because this is what he does for content.
Why are you shaking your hand? You racist? You don't like black people?
No, I don't want to be.
What country are you from?
You don't need to care.
You better back up. What's
Wow.
up? You want to touch me? You want to touch me? You want to go? You're going to get you better watch your Euro ass up. You better watch out, Euro. You better watch out. I'm from America.
What is that supposed to mean, bro? That makes me so irritated, bro. What is that? You right here in my face now. So what we talking about? Huh? What we talking about? What are we talking about?
You better watch out.
I mean, the dude is just a pathetic excuse of a human being. Thankfully, the dude he was harassing is winning in the end because Johnny is currently being wombo comboed by the Korean system.
Yeah, I swear to God, Europeans, they hate Americans, bro. Oh, it's French.
Nah,
oh,
bro.
now it makes
You're
sense.
just dumb.
Nobody likes French people, bro. I don't like them either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad at this point. And these could easily add to his obstruction charges or lead to a 9th charge under South Korea's child welfare or public disturbance laws. And on top of that, Johnny's platforms are disappearing left and right. I mentioned that he was banned on Kick in my last video, but it now seems like YouTube is removing his streams as well.
But there is one live stream that's missing, and that is the live stream where he just came back from court and he decided to go live with Hank. They reviewed the court video, they gave a couple updates, even though he lied about quite a bit. Anytime Hank is in a video, there will be hate speech. So that was the video that was taken down. Now you might ask yourself, how do I know that it was taken down for hate speech. If you go on his channel, it says the video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on hate speech.
Money is flying out the window faster and faster here, and it looks like 10 years could get thrown at Johnny and even Hank here if the authorities find what they're looking for. And I mean, let's be real, we know there's enough of a digital footprint online to give them the stuff to find. It's pretty much inevitable at this point that he's going to do some time. Like, this is not ending with some slap on the wrist. And every time he opens his mouth, every time he makes another deepfake or threatens a judge or shows up to court late or drunk or however he decides to show up, he's really not helping himself at all. So just as a recap, because I know there's going to be so many charges at this point that it's hard to keep track of, Johnny is charged with obstruction of business. That's count 1. He pled guilty to that. You have a violation of Minor Crimes Act, which is essentially a misdemeanor. He pled guilty to that. And then you have another violation of Minor Crimes Act, which he pled guilty to that as well. You have an obstruction of business charge, which he pled guilty to as well. And then you have a deepfake violation. He pled not guilty to that. Then you have another deepfake violation, which he also pled not guilty. Then you have another obstruction of business charge, which he also pled not guilty to for some reason.
How long y'all think this is gonna last? Like, how much longer y'all think this is gonna last? Because this is crazy, bro.
And now we have the violation of the Child Welfare
and
Act.
he's still getting
investigation is currently in
charges.
progress. So here we are. Things are not looking good for him. And Hank is a cautionary tale. He backed the wrong guy. Now he's broke, scared, and trying to figure out where to climb out of this wreckage, because this is just an absolute nightmare for this guy. And this is all while Johnny has another trial date coming up in August. So hey, if you guys want me to go out to South Korea again, drop a like on this video. If we get to the ballpark of like 75,000 likes on this video, I'll fly out again. And also, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but we've dropped a bunch of new collections over at matt.city, including Soul. So if you ever wanted a nostalgic toy car mat or mouse mat that's like massive that covers your whole desk, this is the LA one though. You can feel free to check out my company matt.city in the description down below, as that's another great way to support the channel. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Okay then. Appreciate that. That was nice. Well, if you're still watching the video at this point, I greatly appreciate it. If you have a video suggestion you want to see us react to, please put that in the comments below or add it to the list, and follow us on other social medias like Instagram and TikToks. Please, and send us videos that you want to see us react to, and try not to laughs, because I think I'm going to try not to laughs every other day. So like, I'll do one, then I'll wait to get some content, and I'll do another one, and I'll wait to get some content, and I'll do another one. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And then once we get a bunch of content, then I'll just start doing them every day. But thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I found I can't read it. It's called Ryfin Service. I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, thank you. Well, all right.